What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Hold on, I got to turn down the mic a little bit.
Really a job for him. They're just kind of figureheads. So he's not. Don't count on him to help any of the edge guys. He's going to play 19%.
Getting set up here, guys.
That number's going
Getting set up for the Dan Selio. I say Selio, but it's Selio show. And we are just about to get in here and join the show. Will game time be on? Game time? No, Trey. That is rumor started by the fake Mark Holmes. If you don't see a check beside my name, it ain't me.
You're not asking.
So no, he's not going to be doing that.
Play 70% of the snaps.
I'm going in here and getting ready to join the studio.
Brandon Graham there for leadership and teaching young guys. I'm a little suspect on that, especially what happened last year and what he's talking now. I'm a little disappointed in that conversation. Guys, please hit the like button. I love the idea of Judon, but he's going to command more than the $6.5 million he's going to supposedly make this year with New England.
Okay.
You'll be talking about a different conversation, guy. And I don't. Let me go over here. And I want to read this here.
I need to turn off.
By the way, Philly 500 will join us here. He's going to be a little late.
He's going to be a little late. Figures.
Maybe he's a little scared of Mark.
He finally admits that. Okay.
But this was my assessment of the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, here we go.
In week 10 of the Eagles-Cowboys season.
Okay.
In Arlington. I wrote just an overview as they're in camp now. CeeDee Lamb, Michael Parsons, not at OTAs. Big deal? No, not really. I don't think it's a big deal. Dallas media will make a bigger deal out of it. But at the end of the day, you'd like to have those guys in camp, especially CeeDee Lamb.
We're going to block you.
Parsons, in my opinion, he's the lesser of the three guys they have.
Peace out.
Because remember something I told you.
Fake Mark Holmes.
Michael Parsons, here's my game plan against him. Everywhere he's lined up, run at him. He's awful against the run. Now, they get two good D tackles in there. He's a 20-sack guy.
Yeah.
Trey Lance took advantage of some of the opportunities he got this offseason.
Hey, Linda, what's going on? How are you doing today?
A couple days ago.
Just waiting to
Cowboys
enter.
Are interested in Michael Thomas. I'm putting him on the other side of CeeDee Lamb. People go, Michael Thomas is washed. Well, again.
That's the number one, yeah.
How many NFL teams have great corners like the Jets? None. The Eagles don't have two good corners now. So you put Michael Thomas on the other side of CeeDee Lamb and put him in the two-hole against a lesser inferior guy who's playing corner. I mean, CeeDee Lamb and Michael Thomas. Then you have Ferguson.
Yeah.
You're talking about a passing game that can move the sticks.
Yeah, that actually knows the scheme.
Could be somebody to put out there. They got to find a run game, and they got to find a run-stopping game.
Yes.
Mozzie Smith.
We're actually on the same page.
I don't care what Mike Zimmer does. That is going to be an uphill battle.
It may be.
See if that guy is going to be the next Danny Noonan. Mike Zimmer is going to have the same impact that Vic Fangio has to have in Philly. I think it's going to
help me, Rhonda. Greg MC, Selio's all over the map.
Run the ball.
Flanky guy.
Be in the conversation for the East.
He'll lay the smack down.
I
need to grab my sound box.
Our friend Mark Holmes here. He joins us now. What'd you make of my assessment there, Big Mark, when we're talking about the Cowboys?
Oh shit! He pulled me in early.
What'd you make of my assessment there, my friend?
Damn, you pulled me in there too soon, bro. I wasn't quite ready. I wasn't ready. But before we get to the assessment, you sound a lot like me. But see, I think you need to change something that you're doing with your show. You always start out with Big Sil. I think you need to change it to Big Xander.
Big Xander.
Big Xander. He's being quoted as a reliable source, man. He's big time.
I'm getting sick of this stuff with this guy here. We put him on for a couple weeks, and he's getting headlines like this.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's getting headlines. Eagles not happy with Dan Selio. Xander confirms.
But wait, why would hold on? Why would the Eagles not be happy with you? I mean, you tell them that your quarterback is like the 15th best in the NFL, that your offensive coordinator, you got questions with them basically putting out 95% of a new offense and everything else, and that Nick Sirianni, that nobody likes him because, he's just an idiot, and the ownership meddles with the play calling with analytics. What's not to like there?
Guys, you see what a Cowboy does? See what a Cowboy guy does? He immediately deflects.
I'm not deflecting. I'm asking a real question.
He deflects away from all the shitty problems that they have because they only talk money in Dallas. They don't talk wins. You see this, guys? They only talk money in Dallas. They talk money and fame. They don't talk about wins.
Isn't that what it's all about these days?
Money and wins in Dallas? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was just concerned because, I saw the headlines that you were in deep kimchi, and I was like, damn, am I going down in a sinking ship here? So let me be clear here. So the Philadelphia Eagles watch your channel quite often. So when I say F them birds, I'm saying that to the Eagles front office then?
Yes.
Okay, F them birds, okay?
Well, here's the problem that you have because, you see, I don't know, man. It's kind of like when brothers go after one another, we all sit here and they have allowed me to kind of like be a little more critical. Mm-hmm. But when a cowboy honk like you says it, somehow it does strike up something for me to fire back and just go, you see,
so it's my fault.
Easy, though. The Cowboys are too easy because all you just have to do is this: winning. That's all you just have to say is winning. And you don't
9-4. I'm sorry. 9-4. Excuse me. I have a little sneeze there.
9-4. Is that Dak's record you're quoting me here?
I just sneezed. I just sneezed, bro. But here, before I go back to your analysis, which I believe is spot on, I think you and I are actually speaking the same thing. Where's the chicken?
Oh, are you referencing Philly 500 as a chicken?
Yeah. Where's the chicken?
Why would Philly 500 be a chicken?
After he read me the riot act and told me I lost the power because I didn't show up, he didn't show up. Now, granted, he said it was his kids.
His kid was graduating. Come on.
Elementary school?
Wait a minute.
Bro,
you were giving grandmothers.
Elementary school. All you're eating is crackers and counting to 5. It's not like college graduation, bro.
You were up there giving grandma's maple syrup. This guy's kid was graduating.
Bro, it was elementary school.
Let's bring in Philly 500 here.
It was elementary school.
What's up, Big Sills?
What's up,
Big 500?
Hey, look, Fredo Holmes is here.
Oh, Lordy. Fredo. Maybe we ought to call you Fredo to show up.
Let me explain this, and maybe you can help me, Big Sills. I think Mark thinks that somehow I'm under some sort of contract that I'm supposed to be here every Wednesday like him. I come on days you text me in the morning. I have to life. I have things to do. I'm not guaranteed or committed to coming every week. He made that commitment. I made the commitment. I go out of my way to come on. So what is he talking about?
Wait, hold up.
I don't have to show up.
I feel honored because Big Xander texts me about 2:00 and said, "Here's the link to the show." In fact, I believe Dan actually texted me and said, "Are you coming on today?" I
did.
Well, I probably thought you were in Vermont at some.
And if there's a contract, wait a minute, am I getting paid for this?
Are you committed to come on every week? Are you committed to come on every week?
I will. Yes, unless there is something that's more urgent. Me coming on here, knowing that the Eagles front office is listening to me trash them.
Yes or no question there.
I listen.
Yes or no question.
I don't think he is. I don't, but he does because he thinks 500 that you are more in the line here where you run from him because he's the Cowboys and you're the Eagles.
How could Mike Tyson be scared of Spinks after he knocked them out in 30 seconds? I've KO'd this guy so many times. It's like,
I love you, son.
How about son? Hey, Philly,
I love you too. But I ain't
how about this? Let me ask you this, and we'll go back and forth here. Do you have a problem with the quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles and the head football coach not liking one another?
I do not know if that is true or not. So that's the first
Philly,
thing.
he teed him up and he goes, "What's Nick Sirianni's role?" He goes, "I don't know."
Listen, Dan, that was a trick question. You understand? And I could prove this. I could actually prove this. If you're Jalen Hurts, and this is the question that they give you, what have you noticed about Nick being open-minded to change up the offense like he has? What does that say about him? Now, if I'm Jalen Hurts, the first thing I'm going to think is, this is a trick question. If I say, oh, he's changed up a lot or whatever, the narrative is going to be Jalen Hurts is blaming Nick Sirianni for last year. I think Jalen Hurts looked at that question and said, they're trying to put me on the spot here. That's why he sat there and thought about it and then answered it the way he is. Now, I am not saying that they don't have problems. I don't know. But based upon that answer, I think I know exactly what Jalen Hurts was doing. He was trying to not get baited into some corner, which I think that's what that question was. Because as soon as he said...
How about this? Yeah. But Philly, Devontae and AJ said, hey, these routes this year, we don't have handcuffs on. I mean, there's guys now that are now saying things about the power structure of Nick here. I mean, it's starting to come out now.
I don't disagree that there could be something. There could be. I just can't take that comment and run with it the way that people have run with it. Because to me, I just look at it and I say, man, Jalen Hurts, if he says, yeah, he's changed a lot, you know what they're going to be saying? Jalen Hurts threw Nick Sirianni under the bus yesterday about last year. And that's all they would be talking about. So to me, I think that Jalen Hurts didn't know how to answer that question, which is what he basically said, because it was a question that was going to put him on the spot. That's what I think. Now, maybe they don't like each other. I don't know. But I couldn't take it from that.
But here, for you, Mark, okay, so they had an issue. What's your excuse for melting down last year?
My excuse for melting down?
Yeah, what was the Cowboys' excuse for shitting the bed against the Packers last year?
Well, if you want my honest opinion on it is, I think that the Cowboys were so surprised that we ended up being the number 2 seed. No, stop rolling your head, man. Stop rolling your head. That they relaxed. We fell back on this. We got 16-game win streak at home. We got the 7th seed. And, we're sitting here talking about after victory parties the day before the game. And they came in there and they got punked.
Sills, ask them who was looking for Super Bowl tickets.
Oh, but wait a minute. Hold up, bro. Hold up. Wait.
Ask them who was investigating
So hold on, Philly.
Right, Mark, were you not looking for Super Bowl tickets?
Was I not looking for Super Bowl tickets? Of course, I'm always looking for Super Bowl tickets.
Do you think the Cowboys were really going to go to the Super Bowl?
You never know. You never know. Just in case.
Yes, you do know.
It's better to have and not need than to need and not have.
Mark?
But be that as it may, hold up though, Philly.
Wait a minute. I know this, Mark. When I watch the movie Titanic, the boat goes down. Hey. When I watch the Cowboys year in and year out, I know that boat goes down too.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'll give you that one. We choked that game. Flat out. But let me ask you this. But what is a bigger choke? The Cowboys losing to Green Bay, or you guys coming off the Super Bowl doing all of this stuff to be great, and you guys, after joking us on losing to teams like the Cardinals, lose off the Super Bowl loss. Choking in the Super Bowl, too.
So in order to lose Super Bowl, you got to get to it.
Oh, Lordy. Yes, and you do get to it. And you're 25% victories in that, bro.
I have made no excuses about that being one of the most epic collapses in the history of the NFL. But it's once every, 8-9 years? You guys, it's every year. Every year, Mark, the one thing I know is I have to pay taxes and that Dallas will choke in the playoffs. It's sure thing.
You know the funniest thing about you Eagles? People have said that I've talked over you guys a lot, so I'm trying to be better and be less vocal. I'm trying to let you. I'm trying to let you speak, Philly. But
I know you, dude.
You don't know.
You see what he does? He kind of juices you up, gives you. Then he punches you in the head.
No, I know. I'm polite.
I know all Mark's tricks. Believe me.
Dan. You know what used to piss people off? Okay, when I was in high school as an offensive lineman, is when you literally clean somebody's clock and you smile at them and you try to help them up. They literally like, fuck you, get away from me.
Mark.
But okay, but let me speak here for a second. First things first. Have you talked to your wife about your fear of Kennedy being assassinated in Dallas? Are you going to show up in Dallas or not?
I'm not scared to go to Dallas. I'm not a president.
Okay, then are you going to say right here, right now, that you will eat us in Dallas for that game?
No. What's the bet? Tell me the bet. What is the bet?
I don't care what you name the bet. I'm just saying that, listen, we got Dan Selio, who's being watched at this moment by the Eagles undercover people for everything he says. We got you, Philly 500, the greatest Eagles content creator. And then we got little old Mark Holmes and the Dallas Cowboys. You put all that together, man, that's like freaking Wrestling Mania, bro. Cowboys, Eagles, everything on the line.
Hang on to that thought. I got something for Mark. I got something for Mark.
I don't have any idea. Oh my God.
Wait a minute.
Kicking shit.
Wait. Rob A asked Mark, hey, Mark, was the pick six and the other INT by Dak in the Green Bay game due to a broken thumb? I'm asking for a friend.
Oh, asking for a friend. Shit happens, people. Shit happens. Kind of like having a fumble in the Super Bowl. Shit happens.
Every year shit happens at Dallas. You know what it is, Mark?
What is it, Philly?
Here's the thing. You only focus on the regular season. Why do you not admit the failures of your quarterback in the playoffs?
You know what's funny?
Why? Well, no, seriously. Why can't you admit that your quarterback hasn't shown that he can win a big game? That's all I want to know.
And your quarterback showed that he can win the big game?
No. I mean, we're not talking about my quarterback.
Wait. I'm sorry. Jalen Hurts has showed that he can win the big game?
My quarterback, he could have won MVP. You give him one more drive.
One more drive. I could say if Dak Prescott had one more drive against Green Bay his rookie year, if Dak Prescott had gotten one more drive against the Rams, I mean, that's, if cans and butts were nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Jalen Hurts played good in the Super Bowl. What playoff game has Dak played good?
Green Bay Packers? Tampa Bay?
What, last year?
Green Bay, his rookie year, bro.
You mean the one where you mean when he was the number one?
Actually, he had two interceptions, but you actually look at the yardage and turning it around. They still were in that game. If their defense could have gotten a stop or two in the second half, they could have had a great comeback victory.
Hey, Mark, who would you take as your quarterback in Dallas? Tony Romo or Dak Prescott?
Wait a minute. Ask that question again.
Who would you take as your starting quarterback in Dallas if you had to build your team around right now? Tony Romo or Dak Prescott?
Dak Prescott, because Dak Prescott.
They're the same guy.
Well, no, actually they're not. Tony Romo, in the late part of his years, stayed injured. It was always one of three things would happen late in his career. He'd make an incredible pass, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, Tony Romo," or it would be a Tony Ono, or three, he'd get knocked the F out.
You're being called Mark Prescott right now.
Well, they call me, you know what? You can call me whatever you want to. Just watch. That's all I got to say. Shout out to Dirty Sanchez, man. But still, see, you talk about me deflecting. Philly 500 is still not committing to making Wrestling Mania of the NFL in Dallas.
I'm not committed to going to Dallas right now. Yes.
Oh man.
I'll let you know when I'm committed.
And well, give at least give me a reason why. Give me a reason why. Give me a tangible reason, and I'll leave you alone.
Cancel.
Well, you already changed the bet on me. You already bailed and canceled the own bet.
I will listen.
To me, I think that when you say, "Hey, I'm going to force you to make this bet,"
I'm not forcing you.
Cancel
I'm not forcing you.
And you say that you're not allowed.
You can puss out if you want.
You're scared, and then you try to turn around and make me scared. See, you want me to do whatever you want. I have to drop everything I'm doing.
I tell you what. Then let's go to Philly.
For Mark Holmes.
Let's go to Philly then.
At any moment.
Listen, Philly 500. I'll meet you anywhere, bro. I tell you what, Philly. I'm gonna be in Oxnard. If you want to meet halfway?
But what is the bet?
You can, like you said, you got the juice, bro. You tell me what the bet is.
I got one for you, and this is, how about we do this? Okay, Philly, you're out here already with me.
Yeah.
Mark's got to go across half the country, but he's going to anyway. How about if I set it up that the three of us broadcast live from Cowboy Camp?
There you go.
In Oxnard.
Maybe, yeah, I might do that. I might do that.
Well, just come up for like a couple hours there.
I might do that. I might do that.
I tell you what, it's looking like I'll be there the last week that they're there because they're going to be practicing against the Rams.
Well, I'm
and the preseason game there.
Camp too.
Listen, Sills, he tried to pull this off of me, where he wanted to bet that if the Eagles win, he would have to wear an Eagles jersey.
We can do that.
Out of the link.
We can do that.
What risk is that to you? Putting an Eagles jersey on after they win and walking out of there. Nobody cares. That's nothing. But if the Eagles lose, I got to wear a Cowboys jersey walking out of there.
Okay.
Now, come on.
Listen.
You see what he does? You see how manipulative he is?
Hey, I know his game.
Okay.
Then you're the king of the reach around.
Ooh, wait a minute.
Yeah, no, you go like this. You give a reach around. You're like, hey, that feels pretty good. And then you realize you're getting punched in the head.
And then when you get punched in the head,
I will allow you to come up with the bet. Listen, if you don't like my bets, you come up with the bet.
All right.
Okay.
I will, but I don't like your bets.
Okay. I want a question. I have a question for you. So if Cowboys and Eagles split this year, that means that Dak Prescott will be 9-5 versus
10-5.
10-5. Excuse me. He'll be 10-5 versus the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right.
What's that record mean to you?
I think at this point, Dan, it doesn't mean much because for me to really evaluate and give Dak Prescott credits, he's got to win in the playoffs. I mean, we're talking about regular season games, regular season bets that we pretty much sweep the last few years. Let's talk about playoffs. Let's talk about winning a playoff game and doing something like who goes further in the playoffs. To me, that's way more interesting than whatchamacallit. But I mean, to me, let's do it. I mean, at this point, if I was a Dallas Cowboy fan and a Dak Prescott fan, I would be saying he's got to win something when it counts in the playoffs. Otherwise, everything in the regular season is just regular season. At this point, I think Dak has been in the league long enough that you have to look beyond the regular season. I just do.
Mark, what do you make of that record?
It's funny because you Eagles have turned into what you used to hate. It used to be because when we used to call you guys the ringless wonders, you guys would always talk, well, we've got a better record in the regular season. We've been beating you in the, in the 2000s. Or even crazier is they would go back to the 3 world championships that were before me and you were born, Dan.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, Eagle fans. Once you finally made it up the mountain and finally got that one Super Bowl, all of a sudden you started being this arrogant, whatever you want to say.
I was there.
You think Eagle fans are arrogant?
Oh, my God. Seriously? You would think that the collapse that they had last year didn't happen and they were still in the Super Bowl. Because, yes, we choked. We lost it. We lost it against Green Bay. They lost week after week after week where all they needed to do was just win one game. Just one game. You know, like against the Cardinals, you know, like you joked us and told us we're a bunch of chokers. You lost to the Cardinals. You know how satisfying it was after hearing you guys say we lost to the Cardinals and then y'all to do the same thing.
So let me ask you this. Back in the 90s and stuff, you used to tell the Eagle fans, hey, it's all about the championships, right? That's what you said. And the Eagle fans didn't want to hear it. But now you were sitting there saying it's not about the championships. It's about the regular season.
No, see, that's where you're wrong.
You're the one that's
now. I will say some people were like that, but
actually doing what you're projecting.
Bro, see,
you're projecting on us.
Okay, how about this one, Mark? How about this one now for you? What does your 36 wins mean to you? The last 3 years.
Oh, what does it mean? It means that the Cowboys have been 95% of the way, and unfortunately, we don't have an owner that, I hate to say it, is more Howie-esque.
But he's saying he's hanging around the rim.
He's hanging around the rim. But see, you know, it's like this. If I'm going to fly to California, I don't want to have, it's a 3,000-mile flight. I don't want to have 3,010 miles worth of gas. I want a little extra in case we got some bad weather and we got to go around so I'm not crashing to earth. And that's the thing that, you know, sitting here listening to you, Stealthy, before your show, and you're talking about bringing back Ndamukong Suh and having that guy as a backup in the rotation and things. And see, that's the kind of thing that matters. When you can have guys that can spell, or somebody gets injured, or give a break to your starters, that second tier guy is everything. And the Cowboys, we got a lot of really great players, you know, between Micah and CD and Dak and, you know, Tyron Smith and stuff. But once you get past that layer, you get down to guys that, you know, are they really an NFL player? And that's where you lose. To your guys' credit, for the most part, you guys have had lots of depth. You've been able to go deep when you lose people.
And that's where he's jealous of the Eagles right now.
I can't say that. Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to hide that. Every Cowboy fan will admit.
The Eagles actually go out and do so. Oh, Eagles are talking about your Eagles again. Well, yeah, we have stuff to talk about.
I hate to break this to Mark, but they're soft on defense. They are. They got to change the mentality on that side of the ball.
But still, here's the thing.
They're soft.
Dallas isn't 95% there.
They're not.
Like this idea that they're 95%. You're like 65%.
Okay, and so let me see if I get this straight.
The playoffs, Mark.
I hear what you're saying, but you know what?
Are important.
I hear what you guys are saying. I'm getting double teamed here. There are questions on the Dallas Cowboys. There are questions on the Dallas Cowboys. But I can say this much, that right now, worrying about 95% new offense is not one of them. The coach, who nobody seems to know what he's doing or what his job role is, we don't have that problem right there. Having possibly rookie cornerbacks starting on a defense, as Xander, shout out to Xander, pointed out earlier, was 31st in pass defense. We don't have that problem. So your team, as arrogant as you guys are, you guys could easily be 12-5, and you can very easily be, like I predict, 8-9.
Okay, but what does that have to do with the fact that the Dallas Cowboys cannot win the playoffs? And your quarterback, regardless of who they put around him, cannot win a big game. You know, my quarterback can. What does that have to do with it? You know, we got young guys. Yes, we got some questions. We're installing new off. All those things are true. But guess what? Our team can get into the playoffs and actually win.
Hey, Mark,
hold up there.
All kidding aside.
All kidding aside.
Can I tell you why you guys struggle in the playoffs?
Weak-minded.
Well, here, the year that the Eagles went to the playoffs in 22, they did not rely on Jalen Hurts one time in the postseason except for the Super Bowl. That Giants game, the 49er game, they won with Reddick. They won
their
with defense. They won with running the ball. You guys make a focus of Dak being the centerpiece.
And that's the problem.
Troy Aikman was never the centerpiece.
I agree with that 100%.
Championship teams. He was the third guy in that huddle next to Aikman and Smith. The more that they put the pressure on him,
the more you're going to have mistakes.
It is completely and I love Josh Allen, everyone knows it, it's so Josh Allen-ish that you're relying on that quarterback to get you across the finish line like in Baltimore with Lamar. You can't rely on your quarterback
for everything.
Unless you're the guy in Kansas City.
I think Dallas has a big problem on offense this year because I think they don't have a running game. And I think they're very one-dimensional offensively. I'm sorry, but Zeke Elliott, I'd rather have Kenneth.
You know what? You have a point there. You have a point there that you don't think we can win because we don't have a running back. I'm going to say I don't think that you can win because you ain't got a quarterback that's going to work with the play calling that's going to come out of Kellen Moore.
I don't know why. I mean, that's just an assumption. You're assuming
bro, I'm telling you, that's oil and water, man. When you get into those combination routes that he's going to do, or when you have 3 curl routes coming back at you and everything else, and Jalen Hurts, after his first read, is usually ready to roll and just run. You're going to see more turnovers on top of the 15 he had last year this year.
So you think he leads the league this year?
You think he's going to have over 15 turnovers?
See, here's the problem. Here, let me give. Just listen to me for a second. This is not the trash talking, Eagles suck or anything else. This is real football talk. What Mike McCarthy did when he came back with this offense, okay, he basically said we're going to change about a third of it to start out with. And what they were going to do was to speed this up. Instead of doing the combination routes where the wide receiver is reading and the quarterback's reading the wide receiver, if those two guys aren't on the same page, the quarterback is thrown to a spot. And you end up getting the turnovers. These plays take longer to develop. And that was part of the problem. What Mike McCarthy did with this offense was it's going to be 1, 2, 3. We're getting rid of this football right now and taking out some of the complexities. And if you're Jalen Hurts, who's now going into this offense for the first time and now having to read combination routes where his first instinct is to run, there's going to be a long learning curve. And I'm not trying to do this as a hater. Even though I hate the Eagles, I'm telling you, it's not going to be easy. Justin Herbert had a hard time trying to adjust to it, which is why he was definitely gone right away.
Well, I think the offensive coordinator has a job to take the quarterback that he has and make it work with the offense. You can't just throw a guy in there and force him to do something. So if that's the case, that falls on the offensive coordinator. But I don't know that that's going to be the case.
Bro.
The case with you guys is you don't have the horses. You don't have the running game to help Dak Prescott. That is going to be.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying on there, but see.
Kidding aside here, but get this, Mark. Here's the thing that you don't have compared to what the Eagles have. Say a play dynamic is not working in a series, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say it's not. Well, they can hit it off to Barkley. They could throw a slant to Goddard. They could throw an inseam to AJ. They have, or go to Devontae, plus the top 3 offensive line. Their talent can overcome play calling deficiencies.
Can it?
It did a year ago with 11 wins. Hey,
did it the last 6 weeks of the season?
Wait a minute. No. Wait a minute. They won 11 games in a train wreck year. Can you imagine what the Jets would do with 11 wins? They'd be holding victory.
Okay, so the Cowboys. Wait a minute. So wait. Hold up. Let me see if I get this straight. The Eagles, coming off a Super Bowl, predicted to go back to a Super Bowl, did everything, bringing in Kevin Byards and everything else to go ahead and get to the Super Bowl. They crash and burn, get 11 wins, and you're congratulating them.
No.
The Cowboys, who did nothing, lost more players than they replaced. We get 12 wins, and you said we suck.
You backed into that NFC title. They were 10-2. They fell apart. Okay. That was a season where they imploded.
He's more worried about 12 wins.
So you're admitting they imploded, but yet you're congratulating him for getting 11 wins.
He's more worried about 12 wins.
You can't have it both ways, bro. You can't say they imploded, but they got 11 wins and it was great.
Mark, you got beat by a football team that threw the ball 14 times in a game. I would have swore I was watching Lehigh versus Temple in 1926.
Bro.
They blew you off the field with 14 passes.
It's not like you know what the problem is with the Cowboys is position flex. No, seriously. Stephen Jones, and the next time you have Stephen Jones on him, tell him stop with the fucking position flex, okay? They think a safety, he can be a linebacker. He can sometimes,
that's
but not
all
very
your problem.
No. In the same sense, you've got Micah Parsons, who's a linebacker. He's a pretty good defensive end, but he's not really a defensive end. They take a defensive end and they say, well, he can play tackle too. And if you're a tackle, you can play one technique. And Dan, you've been a one technique guy. Is it the same as being a tackle?
No, it's not. I want to ask Philly this. Philly. So to going along with Mark Holmes here talking about Kellen, do we not agree here? Let me throw this at you here.
Okay.
He's not going to install the Dak Prescott offense in Philly. So he's going to have to create, as you just said, an offense that fits the quarterback and who he is. So he's never, and Jalen said 95% of this offense is brand new. Okay. So he's implementing an offense that he's never had a professional moment where he had a play call in a game. This is all new to him. This is new to him and the quarterback. How long do you think that takes to mesh? I mean, last year they had 17 weeks and didn't make it happen.
Well, I think oftentimes when you get a new coordinator, it does take you a few weeks. It does take you some time to get going. That is perfectly true. And that's why you have to use Saquon Barkley early and often in the beginning of the year, because you want him to help get that offense going. But when I hear 95% new, to me, it's not saying that it's something he's never done before. I take it as it's 95% new of what we were doing last year. The responsibility of the coach and that coordinator is to take the things that Jalen Hurts does well and incorporate it into that offense. I think a bad coach is a coach that doesn't use the talent that's around him. A good coach will utilize that talent. So if Kellen Moore comes out and tries to make him Dak Prescott or Justin Herbert, then we've got a big problem at offensive coordinator. But I don't think, from everything I've heard, that's the case. And I didn't take the 95% new offense to mean it's something he's never done. They don't know if he can do it. To me, I took it to mean 95% different from what they were doing last year.
How'd you take that?
Let me say this much, okay? Generally speaking, there's only so many plays, okay? And it's not necessarily that the play is different as much as it is the terminology. When you change up the terminology and stuff, you may, and this is where you've fucked him up, because he's been in 4 different systems. They're not calling the plays the same way. So now he's got to spend all summer trying to learn all of these play calls from Kellen Moore. And I sit here and I think there were some things that you guys did really, really good that you might want to look at and say, let's hold on to those, because Jalen Hurts does this. If A.J. Brown really, really good, let's supplement that. But you don't go through and just start the whole thing over. But the funniest thing is this, is as much as you guys talk about how bad the Cowboys are at choking and how bad and pathetic, Dak Prescott, he sucks in the playoffs, right?
Yes, absolutely.
He's a choker in the playoffs, right?
Giant choker.
Giant choker. So let me see if I get this straight.
One of the biggest.
You said, let's get the choker's play caller. That'll work.
Yeah, because the play caller was making him better than he was. His best year was under the play caller. See, this is the problem. You blame Kellen Moore for Dak Prescott's
I'm not sure.
Last year, if one thing showed you everything, was the fact that a number 2 seed went out there and choked.
Oh no! Wait. Let's back this up for a second. Let's back this up for a second here, because Dak Prescott. Hold on, bro.
Yeah, short passes, pick 6, mother humper. That's what you had with the Dallas Cowboys and Ruffin. Kellen Moore did it. Wasn't on the field.
You know what's funny? Yeah, Philly.
Why did you lose?
You won't even let me speak. Won't let me speak.
See, he can't answer the question.
No, because you won't shut your fucking mouth.
Because I know what you're gonna do. Well, in 1932, when I was in high school making chicken wings, we had a situation. And let me tell you, good people, I'm Mark Holmes, and this is the Joe Booth Sports Network.
Oh my God,
we were
Philly.
going to be here, and when you have a cat and the cat eats, then it's no longer hungry. That's why Mike McCarthy gets on the field and does this.
Oh, boy.
Come on. Just say it. The guy's a choker. He has to prove himself.
Can I speak?
Mark, I got to hand it to you, though. Here, Dallas's defense will have a learning curve as well. Dallas was ranked 5th in D last year. No DT. Overshown.
No linebackers.
Coming back from an ACL, Dallas won't finish top 10 on defense.
Go ahead, Mark.
Defensive line is suspect as
You
well. Do you agree?
I got it all out.
Rob.
I'm feeling better.
You got it out now?
Yeah.
You sure you got it out now?
Yeah, I'm gonna just shut up.
But hey, look, you do have a point. That's one thing I keep saying. So, they do blame in Philly Brian Johnson for Jalen's failures. Okay? So if you're going to blame Brian Johnson for Jalen's failures, you're blaming Kellen Moore for Dak's failures, or not blaming him for his failures?
What I was trying to say and didn't get a chance to, because he said that Dak Prescott's best years were, of course, with Kellen Moore. But
37.
Dak, well, hold on. Yeah, 37. 37, yes. He had 36, one of the lowest interception rates and stuff this year.
And number 1 seed.
Yeah, but you know what's funny is this last year where we literally had ass, where he had 23 TDs and 15 interceptions, and everybody trashed him and talked about how bad he was with the turnovers. Mind you, that's the exact same number that Jalen Hurts' best season has ever been, ironically, with the same amount of interceptions, 23 and 15 last year. I will say that Mike McCarthy, with a new offense, which took about 5 weeks before they really started getting it going, because those first couple of weeks we had people saying, oh my God, maybe we screwed up letting go Kellen Moore. Once they got into a groove, that offense was flying. And you cannot dispute that.
Until they played Green Bay.
Mark,
until they played Green Bay. And until you played Tampa Bay.
Here, you are wrong, my guy.
We were already done.
This year was with Moore. 2 seed.
He had 4,902 yards, 1 yard short.
Philly 500, my dude.
My man, Jameson Smith, shout out to you.
One other caveat, which will go back to the knowledge that you actually get from Dan Selio. We had a much better running game that year, too. Mind you, our running game was ass last year.
You had a great offense that year.
You had Zeke actually. Zeke had a pretty good year, and that was Tony Pollard's breakout year.
You had Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson.
Yeah. So was that Kellen Moore or was that the personnel?
No, it was Dak Prescott. Because as soon as Kellen Moore left, you had the same problem. I mean,
we didn't have the same problem. We didn't have the same personnel. We had one good receiver. One good receiver and a young tight end that's coming and a running game that was not good. And yet he still had 36 TDs and 9 interceptions. Nah, bro. Nah, Philly. You're full of shit now. You're the same guy that said that your secondary is going to be better than the Dallas Cowboys. Enough said.
If you remove Kellen Moore and the same thing happens, then it's common sense that it's probably not Kellen Moore.
Mark, here's something that a lot of folks don't know what's going to happen this year as a consultant. Bill Belichick is behind the scenes with the Cowboys.
Yes.
As a consultant this year, when it comes to the coaching staff on the sidelines and it comes to the defense with Mike Zimmer. Him and Zimmer are dear friends, and him and Zimmer have been talking. So you've got Bill Belichick as a consultant with the Dallas Cowboys, and I was just curious.
Too bad you don't got Tom Brady as a quarterback.
Hey, Philly.
Oh, man, I think I teed that up.
I fire him.
Dak Prescott has
fucking fire him.
Kirk Cousins that he can win in a big game in a big moment. And until he does that, you've got to.
What an idiot! What an idiot!
Mark, what do you make of having Belichick as I don't know what the hell to say.
Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver.
Okay.
What do I think? You know what?
Belichick?
I tell you what. If the Joneses are actually listening to somebody, I don't care anybody. Just let them listen to anybody at this point. I'm okay with that. I like that fact that you had a guy who has had that much success that maybe he tells them, you know what, you need to get some more players in here, that you don't have enough to win it all. So I'm okay with that. I think that's a great thing.
I think it's the first time that they've done something like that in some time, and that was a recommendation.
What's that shirt behind Mark, by the way?
Oh, I forgot to have the chicken shirt. See, I had my chicken shirt last time, but I left it at the
I saw that shirt. That was stupid.
Kind of like Philly. That's our new center, Cooper Beebe, the juggernaut.
Yeah.
I like it. I actually like that kid.
Yeah, I do too. Is their best pick.
Yeah.
You remember Mark, that time you did a video and you said that Michael Parsons is Lawrence Taylor? You remember that?
He still could be.
Funny.
Never.
Still could be.
Stop doing that. Stop that.
I tell you what, I heard somebody actually say if the Cowboys were able to get themselves a couple of defensive linemen, that he would probably get about 20 sacks.
Yes. But until that time, he'll always run out of gas by the end of the year.
Oh, I agree. I agree 100% because he's too undersized to be doing that all by himself.
I have a question for you, Mark, and this is a serious question. You got 3 guys that you got to pay, 3 guys with contract situations. Do you think they pay all 3 of these guys?
Yes.
And if not, which guy's most likely to go?
Here's the thing. Let's see. What you guys don't seem to understand is the NFL.
That's the question.
I am. They're gonna. I just did. I said they're gonna pay all 3, and it's. You watch.
Because CeeDee Lamb, you know what, is overhyped in the slot. He doesn't go against. He goes against safety.
I hear what. Okay, yeah, but you know what? Here's a coach's job.
Ridiculous.
Here's what a coach's job is. If I can find a way to get you to make yardage and make touchdowns, I don't care where I put you. If it's in the backfield and you're going to go ahead and give me 1,600 yards, fine. I'll put your ass in the backfield. That is coaching, Dan. That is coaching. You know what the best thing you do in football is? You go where people aren't, or you go for the mismatches. And if I can put him in the slot and create a mismatch, I'm going to do that. That's what.
Hey, Philly,
I believe you're the one that said maybe you need to do the same thing with AJ Brown.
I have no issue with moving guys around. I don't disagree with anything Mark just said there until he said good coaching. Because once again, it comes back to, well, if you have such great coaching, why can't you win in the playoffs?
You know what? What's funny is here's what's so funny, that as much as you arrogant son of bitches out there that think that you guys are God's gift to the NFL, your team is in the exact same position that we are in, buddy. Your coach is on the hot seat. Yes or no?
You didn't answer no, you did say you're going to pay all 3.
You will. I was going to explain to you how you can actually do it. Because see, the problem is,
to go, who is it going to be? That's what I was asking.
Listen to me for a second.
If there's one that does go, who's most likely to not remain?
Here's what's going to happen. Okay, if I am, the capologist, the way I look at this is this: the Cowboys, for one, don't pay anybody till their contract's over with.
Which is a mistake.
Okay, which maybe not, because you can look at Joe Burrow's contract at $55 million right now, but because the salary cap went up by $35 million, that's actually the same amount of money is $59 million this year. You understand inflation? Yep. Your money goes further. So paying them next year, if they...
Let me guess, that's Bidenomics.
That's not Bidenomics. That's inflation, okay? The red brick house, when it was sold originally, was $200 200 years ago, and now it's worth a hell of a lot more. It's because things change. When Troy Aikman signed his 8-year, $44 million contract, people said, you can't pay a quarterback $5.5 million a year. That's unheard of. And we know how that goes up, okay? The Cowboys will take that $55 million, take that hit this year. They'll get CeeDee Lamb done. They'll wait on Micah Parsons until next year because his number is only $5 million now.
Can I stop you for one moment?
Go ahead.
Here, let me. This is from a broadcaster who's learning you guys and your magic and how you do
our magic.
Let me ask you something. When you're talking Cowboys, doesn't it get to a particular point where you just have to stop? Because the things you can say is, we have great helmets, nice uniforms, great stadium. But when it comes to winning, you have to stop there. Doesn't that bug you that you can never beat him in a conversation? Because since 2000, the Eagles have been the best team in the NFC East. And dude, this is a guy from 35,000 feet, observer here.
Damn.
How do you Cowboy guys do you just ignore like some Eagle fans do? That 1-6 meltdown that you just ignored the last 30 years? I'm curious, how do you get around that?
What do you mean? What 1-6? What are you talking about? 1-6?
How do you get around the last?
What are you talking about?
1-6.
It's called mass delusion.
No, where are you getting 1-6? Because I know you're getting old there, Dan. I know you played one technique like me. Your brain don't work the way it should.
I'm just asking how, because some Eagle fans, they ignore that. Okay, and you can't ignore.
You mean kind of like they're ignoring the problems right now with Jalen Hurts in the offense?
Listen, there's this microcosm. There's this micro. Yours is macro. It's 30 years. How do you, when you're talking to your folks, do you guys go like this? Hey, man, Cowboys are going to have a really great year. We got a really good-looking roster. You know, I think Mike McCarthy's Super Bowl guy in the division. And then when you start going, how far can you go in the playoffs? You go, I don't know. I mean,
They don't worry.
You know what? As always, I'm the butt of the jokes. I know why I'm brought on here.
No.
I know.
Here he goes again.
How do you continue?
Here he goes again.
Hey, it's better than being a Jets fan.
That's a given.
Hey, listen, Phil. Here's the difference between the Cowboys. Here's the difference between a Cowboy fans and Eagle fans, and this is.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, he doesn't even acknowledge the playoffs, right? Back when we had Andy Reid and we had Donovan McNabb, and we went to 4 straight NFC Championship games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we used to say? We used to say our season doesn't begin until the NFC Championship game. Until you get to that game and win it.
Again, you mean you make it sound like the Cowboys have never been there, bro.
Nothing else matters.
You okay?
And with him, he doesn't care because he can't talk about it. See, we hold our team accountable. We say, no, look, you can win 13 games, 12 games every year, Donovan McNabb, Andy Reid. But until you win that NFC Championship game, nothing else matters. And that's the difference. They can't do that, and we do it all the time. That's why he continues to get knocked out and lose these debates.
And yet your team sat their ass home on the couch with us.
What an idiot!
All right, guys.
Yeah, after going to the Super Bowl the year before. And then winning one a couple years before that.
Yes.
Okay, let's try to do something here. There's 2 things we have potentially on the table here as we end this scene here. Mm-hmm. Potentially in Arlington or in Philly or at Cowboy camp when they scrimmage the Rams, we'll all hook up.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Perhaps. What is that shit? Are you a man or are you a little bitch? Hey,
who's the one? Wait, who's the one that said my wife won't let me go to Philly?
Bro, the last 2 years I've tried to get you to Philly and you say, I can't because it's around Christmas.
My pussy's dripping.
Oh, bro.
Get the hell out of here with that crap.
Bro.
You're so full of crap. You're the one that wasn't
potentially, I don't know, because that chicken shit. I am literally talking about going across from one coast to the other, and you're like, we'll see, maybe. What the fuck is that?
Right.
You know what that's like? That's like when you know what, Philly.
Mark, you held up well today.
Philly, literally, that's kind of like when your wife says, we have something to talk about, and you know it's some shit that you did, okay? You know that's some shit that you did. It's never anything that she did wrong. Come on, just admit it, Philly. Just admit it. You don't want to come out of your house. You are comfortable in your little man cave with your big fat head behind you, sitting behind there, melting down or cheering on your team. You're uncomfortable being around people, and you're scared. You're scared that your team is gonna not show up, and you're gonna have to do the walk of shame. Just admit it, son.
All right.
Admit it. You know, because the Cowboys keep kicking that ass, be it in the regular season.
Dude,
but I wish, you know what I wish for? I wish that we would play each other in the playoffs just so we can bitch slap your ass.
And we got it. Make a bet for the playoffs. Let's do playoff bet.
What do you want to? I'm in, bro. You tell me what you want. Jersey. Head shave. No, I don't do head shaving. Okay, because if I got a lumpy head, y'all don't want to see this lumpy head right here. Okay,
T-shirts. I'm gonna you guys because I'm going to tell you guys something.
Shit.
Where's the Super Bowl this year, Mark?
We're New Orleans. Great place to go. Great food.
Hold on.
Mark, better look up Super Bowl tickets.
I get 4 tickets a year. You get nice look, Mark. You get nice little bags.
Yeah.
See it like here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
if we make it to one of these events, we'll all be on Radio Row.
Okay.
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in. Why are you scared, Mark? Why did you not commit fast enough? You didn't say yes fast enough to him. Why have you not committed?
What do you mean? I said I'm there.
You didn't say it quick enough.
Bro,
you didn't say it loud enough.
You know what?
Come on, Mark,
I tell you what
the hell
if
you doing?
Dan invites me to anything, I'm there.
Doing?
I'm there. Okay, let me say from this point on, standing thing. Dan says, we got a gig on Radio Row. We got a thing at the game. I'm there. You don't have to ask. It's not a question, okay? I will make it work. It's not going to be, we'll see.
It's not a question.
We'll see.
So about 10 minutes later when he goes, hey guys, Mark Holmes with your buddy, Cowboy Joe Boo. My wife just said I can't go.
Cowboys report to camp.
No, bro.
My wife said no.
Cowboys report to camp on July 25th. And
you got the official date?
Philadelphia Eagles
We've been waiting
report on also July 25th. So
yeah,
we're about 40 some days out from.
And then they'll be practicing, I believe, is either the 7th or the 9th with the Rams of August. And I will be there that whole week. I'll be, because I've got some work to do in LA with my daughter and things. So I will be close by. I know you're north of there, about 3 or 4 hours or so. Do I have to drive to your town? Do you want to send me your address? Do I have to drive to your house?
What are you gonna show for me? You got a SUV?
I'll meet you at a bar in your town. How about that?
I'm 8 or 9 hours away,
bro. I drove that to Vermont, bro. Just to go help an old lady. I can go help an old man too.
We all saw your safe house.
Do you have some work you need to be fixed at your house too?
Saw your safe house.
I'll bring my tools.
Oh, we saw that safe house. Mark, taking pictures.
Hey, man, stop it. Hey, Philly, do me a favor. Tell the folks how they can find you.
I got to take a picture of me in the safe house.
Oh, God.
Tell how they can find you, brother.
Type in Philly 500. It'll come up.
Mark,
I don't know.
Tell them how they can find you.
Bro, I've been looking for you for a while, Mr. Chicken Shit.
Vermont Safe House.
Cowboy Joe Boo. Joe Boo Sports Report on all platforms. Just type it in. You'll find me.
Wait a minute. I thought you would be like missing persons. I'm kidding. Hey, guys. Mark, good stuff, guys. You guys killed it. Look at who won this thing, you guys?
We know how this is gonna go. Every freaking week, it's Mark Holmes gets owned by Philly 500. Mark Holmes gets punked by Philly 500. We know I'm on an Eagles channel. And let me say one final thing to the Eagles front office. Your team stinks.
Hey, I have front office listens. You need Kelly Green full time. Let's get it going.
Hey, let me show you one thing here, man. So get this. Xander's coming up here in a couple minutes. Like, who the fuck is Xander? like, check this out here. So look at this. They're now doing this, Philly. They're writing columns now. Xander Kraus confirmed.
Xander's the man.
Like, who the fuck is Xander Kraus? I mean, like he's confirming that, check this out. So it's now going around because the Eagles are not happy with me with some of the comments that I say, or they're not happy with the show because of some of the things I say. Xander Kraus confirms
You know what I want to see?
Like, who's this guy?
Xander's big time now.
I want to see Xander do a video and say, "Who the hell is Dan Selio?"
He does it all the time. Anyway, guys, I appreciate it. Guys, you guys were awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Appreciate it.
Peace out, man.
Appreciate it. Hit the like button. Right. Keep it here, National Football Show.
All right.
If you missed any of today's show on the Jacob Media channel,
there you go. All right, man. You know. I guess it helps if I put my camera back on here. You know, it's a no-win situation for me. You know that I'm going to get double teamed and everything else, but it's all good, man. It's all good, fun and games and things. I hope Philly 500 does show up. I am willing to meet him anywhere, but we definitely are going to be going to training camp. Would love to meet Dan Selio there, and we can do some stuff together and all that. It's nothing like having a good rivalry between friends. And as always, I appreciate each and every one. If you ever see Philly 500's face on the back of a milk carton, I would encourage everybody to stop searching. You guys are great. Love the camaraderie. Can't wait till the season. Shout out to Linda. Mark won because he's willing to drive to Philly's house. Alan, Mark won this round. Let's go Cowboys. Commanders and oh geez, big spank dog. Hey Jeff Lee, what's going on? That dude, how many of those Mark Holmes' profiles is he going to make? Good God. What do you have, a standing 50 or so of them ready to go? Tell Philly 500 if you had to pick them apart, you would have a diaper change along the road. Damn. Well, thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. You got roasted? Okay, if you say so. Keep dreaming, brother. All right, good people. I will see you.